I'm Stefan Walters and I'm a systemic therapist, so I work with couples and families as well as individuals. I've also done group work, and I'm always interested in looking at the interactions that happen between people, things that might be impacting their relationships and the stuff that gets activated for all of us emotionally as we interact with others, when we're communicating, where we feel misunderstood, when we feel like we're struggling to connect, and emotions that come up where we might feel angry, rejected, upset, and so on. What I do with couples and families is I'll help them understand that there are very predictable cycles that we fall into, and often if we don't understand these cycles, they can escalate really quickly and become sources of conflict and disconnection. If we feel like we're not able to connect with the other person, we will increasingly make bids for connection, and that can escalate. It can seem like we are pursuing, and if that starts to feel overwhelming to the other person, that they may start to withdraw, and that quickly gets into a negative cycle, a spiral of pursuit and withdrawal. So we want to understand what's going on there. In that cycle of pursuit, there can be a kind of despairing and a further reaching as we feel like we're not able to connect, and eventually that may become tantrums, arguments, acting out, passive-aggressive comments, name-calling, references, whatever it might be, and we want to stop those. We want to de-escalate that cycle and then be able to promote a cycle of reconnection very quickly. If we don't de-escalate it, then what can happen is that people can start to detach. They can become withdrawn pursuers, they can give up, they can shut down, they can start to feel very unsafe in the relationship. So I want people to be able to understand that cycle and then to start to promote connection again very quickly. Sometimes I'll use the metaphor of a hedgehog. We all have a kind of an inner hedgehog, and we can think about how if the hedgehog's too far away from others, it can start to feel cold. It will come back in for warmth, but then feel spiky. So it will go further out, feel cold again, and come back, and so on and so forth. So we get stuck in those dances again and again, stuck in those cycles in our relationships. And we want to understand, what is it that activates us and where is that coming from? Often there will be other times in our lives that are getting reactivated, maybe where we felt there were people around us who were too spiky or too cold, and where that dance didn't feel safe. We can end up repeating those moves from previous relationships, from our childhoods, not understanding that dynamic. So it's really helpful to have that insight and to help couples recognize the dance that they get caught in before it becomes too disastrous and too detached.
Subscribe for more insights from the experts at Harley Therapy, and don't miss our next video.